Star Surfers, Flare Riders. Star Surfers, Flare Riders. Chapter 1. Ashes of Earth. The sky burned orange over New Calgary, a jagged smear of crawl plasma bolts tearing through the last human shield dome. Jessa Cade, crouched behind a slab of toppled graphene wall, her mining rig's torch spitting blue sparks as she sliced into a wrecked crawl drone. Its innards glowed, alien tech, pulsing like a dying heart, all sharp angles and green ichor. She pried out a shard of crystal, fist-sized and humming, when the general's voice crackled through her earpiece, hoarse and fading. "Cade, it's now or never. They're breaching the grid." She spat dust, tasting iron and ash. "Yeah, and I'm still breathing. Where's this ship you promised?" "South Hangar, Flare Chaser, it's your ticket out, and Earth's last shot." Static hissed, then a wet cough. "Get to the Zorn, bring 'em back." The line cut. Another explosion rocked the street. Crawl walkers, their spindly legs stabbing through the smoke, mandibles glinting like wet knives. Time was up. Jessa bolted, boots pounding cracked pavement. The crystal shard clutched tight against her chest. South Hangar was a half-click sprint through a war zone. She'd mined asteroids, cracked titanium veins in zero-G off Phobos. Running from bugs with guns was a new kind of stupid. A plasma bolt sizzled past, melting a lamppost into slag. She dove behind a gutted transport, chest heaving, her miner's jacket scorched at the hem. The hangar loomed ahead, dented steel doors, one hanging ajar like a broken jaw. Inside, the air stank of fuel and ozone. The flare chaser squatted under flickering lights, its titanium hull gleaming, asteroid forged and streaked with nanotube weave. 20 meters of lean, brutal beauty. Built in orbit, not some dirt-side factory. Magsail coils hugged its wings, dormant but twitching with potential. The flare lance jutted from its nose, a harpoon of fused steel and superconductors. Tor stood by the ramp, gray beard streaked with grease, wrench in one meaty hand. "She's fueled, Jessa. Fusion's hot. Deuterium mix. Good for a month." "Where's Lix?" "Late, as usual," she growled, vaulting up the ramp, boots clanging. "He's got the lance codes. We don't fly without him." A shadow stumbled through the hangar door. Lix, all elbows and nerves, glasses fogged with sweat, clutching a scratched tablet. "Got him. Lance is live. We're insane, you know that? Surfing stars while Earth burns." "Sanity's dead," Jessa snapped, shoving the crystal into a one-by-one vault bolted to the cockpit console. The EMP proof box clicked shut, seals humming. Inside, the Zorn artifact pulsed faintly, their only plea to the Star Brothers. Crawl torched it. "Move!" The flare chaser's engines roared to life, a deep thrum shaking the hangar's bones. Outside, Crawl screams pierced the air, chitinous, furious, a sound like breaking glass and hunger. Tor slammed the hatch, his wrench clattering to the deck. Lix strapped into the nav chair, muttering about flare vectors and magnetic flux, fingers dancing over his tablet. Jessa dropped into the pilot seat, screens flaring green. Hull integrity, fusion output, magsail charge. The general's words looped in her skull. "Find the Star Brothers. Bring them back. Earth can't hold." A crawl walker smashed through the hangar door, 8 legs splaying, mandibles snapping at the air. Its eyes, compound, glowing, locked on the ship. Plasma coils on its back whined, charging. Jessa punched the throttle. The chaser lurched, thrusters spitting white fire, scraping skyward as the walker's bolt melted a chunk of floor where they'd been. Shrapnel pinged off the hull. Titanium held, nanobots already swarming the dents. New Calgary shrank below, a tableau of fire and ruin. The shield dome cracked like an egg. Crawl swarming through breaches, their walkers tearing into bunkers. Beyond the city, orbital flashes, human ships or what was left, winking out against the black. Jessa's jaw tightened. "Tor, magsail status?" "Coils are warm, 5 minutes to deploy," he rumbled, hunched over a panel. "Lance is primed, but we need to start a poke." "Sol's our first dot," she said, banking the chaser hard. "Edge of the corona. Close enough to trigger, far enough to not cook. Lix's voice piped up, shrill. Close? That's a G-type star, Jessa. Magnetic field's a mess. Flares could be 10 million degrees. And we've got a hull that's laughed off asteroid storms, she shot back. You built the Lance. Tell me it works. It'll work, he muttered, wiping his glasses. Or we're ash. 50-50. The chaser punched through Earth's upper atmo, the orange glow fading to star-pricked black. Ahead, Sewell burned, steady, mocking, a yellow dwarf that didn't care about human wars or crawl claws. Jessa tapped the console, pulling up the Flare Lance's interface, targeting reticle, power levels, a countdown clock. The plan was lunatic. Trigger a solar flare, ride its particle wind with the mag sail, leap to the next star. Dot by dot, all the way to the Zoran system. Light years off, a needle in a cosmic haystack. A blip flashed on sensors. Crawl scouts, 3 of them, darting up from low orbit. Sleek, bug-like ships, no sails, just raw thrust and hate. Tor cursed. They're fast, closing in 10 minutes. Let 'em try, Jessa said, voice steel. We hit Sol's edge in 8. Lix, prep the Lance, full burst. Tor, mag sail on my mark. The chaser streaked toward the sun, hull glinting, a speck against its glare. Behind, the crawl closed, plasma coils glowing, a promise of death. New Calgary was a memory now, Earth a shrinking blue ember. Jessa's hands steadied on the controls, eyes locked on Sewell. She'd mined the dark, survived the void. Surfing a star to save a world? Just another job. Hold tight, she said, a half-smile cracking her dust-caked face. We're surfing to save the bastards. The Lance hummed, a low growl building. The sun loomed. First dot. And no going back. Chapter 2. First Wave. The flare chaser skimmed Sol's corona, a razor's edge from oblivion. The sun's outer glow filled the cockpit screens, golden plasma tendrils licking space, magnetic loops twisting like live wires. Jessa Cade gripped the controls, her knuckles white under miner's calluses. The Flare Lance's reticle danced over the star's surface, hunting a hot spot. Lix, give me a target, now. Lix hunched over his tablet, sweat beading on his brow, glasses slipping. Magnetic field's a mess. Loops at 12 o'clock, 3 million Kelvin. Hit there, and we might get a flare. Might's all we've got, she said, locking the coordinates. Tor, magsail, how's she looking? Tor's gruff voice came from the engineering bay, hands buried in a panel. Coils are at 80%, deploying in 30 seconds. Nanobots are patching that hangar scrape. Hold her steady, Jessa. The ship thrummed, fusion core purring like a caged beast. Outside, Sewell roared, silent, immense, a furnace that had cooked bigger ships than theirs. The chaser's titanium hull, forged from asteroid guts and woven with nanotubes, gleamed defiantly. Jessa tapped the Lance controls. Power spiked. A petawatt hum building. Firing in 3, 2, 1. A beam lanced out, invisible but screaming on sensors, pure energy, fusion-fed, slamming into Sol's magnetic tangle. For a heartbeat, nothing. Then the star answered. A flare erupted, plasma jetting outward, a million-degree wave of charged particles. Lix whooped, then choked it back. It's working. Winds at 500 clicks per second. Mag sail, now, Jessa barked. Tor hit the switch. The coils unfurled. Kilometers of superconducting graphene, blooming like a silver flower. The flare's wind hit, a punch of momentum. The chaser lurched, acceleration pinning them to their seats, 2G, then 3G. Screens flared with data, 100 kilometers per second and climbing. Jessa grinned, feral. First wave boys were surfing. Tor grunted, checking readouts. Sails holding, stress at 60%. Nanobots are reinforcing the struts. Lix's voice cracked. 60? That's cutting it thin. Next flare could tear us apart. Then you better pick better stars, Jessa said, eyes on the helm. Sewell shrank behind them, the flare's tail fading. Ahead, the black yawned. Proxima Centauri, next dot, 4.24 light-years off. The flare gave them a kick, but it was just the start. A shrill beep cut the air. Sensors. Tor swore. Crawl scouts, 3 blips, closing fast, 8 minutes out. Jessa's grin faded. Thought we lost him at Earth. They're bugs, Lick said, tapping furiously. They don't quit. Vectors say they're skipping the flare. Raw thrust, no sails. Raw thrust won't catch us yet, she said, banking the chaser towards Sol's ecliptic. Licks, plot the next flare. Milk this star dry. Tor, squeeze the sail. Every click counts. The cockpit hummed with tension. Licks's tablet spat numbers. Another magnetic loop, weaker but closer. Here, smaller flare, but it'll stack with the first. Risky, radiation spiking. Do it, Jessa said. The lance fired again, a shorter burst. Sewell spat a second flare, less fury, more focus. The mag sail caught it, speed ticking up. 150 kilometers per second, 200. The chaser groaned, hull creaking as nanobots raced to patch microstresses. Outside, the corona's glow bathed them. Beautiful, deadly. Tor's panel flashed red. Radiation shields at 80%, holding, but we're cooking slow. Shields'll hold, Jessa said, voice flat. Crawl won't. Sensors screamed. Crawl. Scouts, 6 minutes out, plasma coils hot. Jessa jinked the ship, dodging a wild shot. Green plasma streaked past, a near miss. The chaser's tail flared as nanobots sealed a singed plate. They're pissed, Tor said, almost laughing. Good, Jessa replied. Pissed bugs miss. Lix's hands shook. Speed's at 250 clicks per second. Sol's tapped out. We're on glide till Proxima. Glide's enough, she said, eyes flicking to the vault. The Zoran artifact sat quiet, a faint pulse in its crystal heart. Earth's SOS riding with them. The crawl blips tightened. 5 minutes. Jessa ran the math. 250 kilometers per second was fast, but the bug's thrust was relentless. They'd need every trick to stay ahead. Tor, reroute power. Shields over engines. Licks, spoof 'em. Dump a decoy signal. Tor nodded, hands flying. Shields at 90, engines at half. We'll coast. Licks hesitated, then grinned. First time all day. Decoys live, mimicking our fusion sig. Old miner trick. A burst of static erupted from the chaser's rear. Fake heat, fake life. 2 crawl scouts veered, chasing the ghost. The third held course, stubborn. 4 minutes out. Jessa watched Sewell fade, a shrinking torch. They're smart. One's not buying it. Smart dies too, Tor said, hefting a wrench like it'd help. Save it, she said. We're not scrapping yet. The chaser hummed, coasting on the flare's wake. Hull hot, sail taut. The crawl scout fired. A plasma bolt grazed their wing, sensors shrieking. Nanobots swarmed, patching black char. 3 minutes, Lick said, voice tight. They're in range. Jessa's mind raced. Miners didn't run from fights, but this wasn't a fight. It was survival. Licks? Flare lance? Any juice left? Barely, a pulse, not a beam. 10% power. Aim it back, she said. Blind him. He blinked, then nodded. The lance swiveled. A weak sputter of energy lashed out, not enough to hurt, but bright. The crawl scout sensors flared. Compound eyes or tech didn't matter. It veered, off course for a heartbeat. Distance stretched. 5 minutes again. Good enough, Jessa said, exhaling. They'll regroup, but we've got a head start. Tor wiped his brow. Sails at 70% stress. Next flare's gotta be gentle, or we're scrap. Proxima's not gentle, Lix muttered. Flare star. Tantrums every day. Then we ride the tantrum, Jessa said, locking the course. The chaser sailed on. Sewell a dim dot, Crawl a fading threat. For now. The vault's hum was her anchor. Zorn were out there, star brothers who'd ditched Earth long ago. She'd drag them back, fleet and all, or die trying. Ahead, Proxima winked. Red, angry, their next dot. The chaser's hull cooled. nanobots settling. Jessa leaned back, dust still caked on her face. First wave's down. Rest up. Round two's gonna sting. The ship coasted, a silver speck in the void, surfing toward hope. Chapter 3.1 Proxima's Tantrum. The flare chaser drifted in the black. Sol a faint memory behind them. Proxima Centauri, a sullen red smudge ahead. 4 years at 250 kilometers per second. Earth time blurred, but the ship's fusion core ticked steady, nanobots humming through its titanium veins. Jessa Cade slouched in the pilot's chair, boots up, staring at the vault's faint glow. The Zoran artifact pulsed like a heartbeat. Earth's plea, her burden. She'd kill for a cig, but miners didn't smoke in space. Too many fires in her past. Tor clanked in from the bay, grease smudging his beard. Sails patched, 75% now. Nanobots ate the last of our spare carbon. Next hit's gotta be clean. Proxima's not clean, Lick said, hunched over his tablet, glasses reflecting red starlight. M-class dwarf, flares every few hours, random as hell. Magnetic fields a snarl. Then we make it snarl louder, Jessa said, dropping her boots with a thud. Lance is charged? Barely, Lick muttered. That pulse at Sol drained it. 60% power. One good shot, maybe 2 weak ones. One's enough, she said, standing. Plot us in. Close orbit. Flare range. The chaser hummed as Lick's fed coordinates. Proxima loomed, a angry red ball, half Sol's size but twice as pissed. Its corona flickered, tendrils of plasma snapping like whips. Sensors pinged, radiation spikes, magnetic flux. Jessa strapped in, screens alive with data. Tor, magsail ready? Coils are hot, he rumbled, buckling beside her. Deploy on your word. Good. Licks. Target. He swiped his tablet, voice tight. Loop at 9 o'clock, active, churning. Hit it, and we'll get a flare. Big one. Big's what we need, Jessa said, locking the lance. The reticle settled, red crosshairs on a red hell. Firing. 3, 2, 1. The lance spat. A thinner beam than Sol's, but sharp, slicing into Proxima's magnetic mess. The star twitched, then roared. A flare erupted, plasma and particles vomiting outward, a crimson wave at 800 kilometers per second. Magsail, now! Jessa yelled. Tor slammed the deploy key. The graphene sail bloomed, catching the wind. 3 grams slammed them back, the chaser bucking like a rig in a storm. Speed jumped. 300 kilometers per second, 400. Proxima's tantrum was a beast. Licks yelped, gripping his chair. Too fast. Sails at 80% stress. Ease it, Jessa snapped. Tor, trim the coils. Half spread. He grunted, hands flying. The sail shrank, tension dropping. Speed held at 450 kilometers per second. The hull groaned, nanobots glowing as they patched microcracks. Outside, Proxima's flare painted them red, a bloody aurora. Jessa's grin was back, wild, alive. That's how you ride a tantrum. Sensors screeched, radiation alarms. Tor's panel flashed. Shields at 70, flares cooking us. 10 minutes, and we're fried. 5's all we need, Jessa said, banking the chaser out of the flare's core. Licks, next dot. Where? Red giant, 6 light years, he stammered. Slow wind, dense push. This'll get us halfway. Good enough, she said. The ship steadied, coasting on Proxima's wake. Speed locked, hull hot but holding. A blip flared, then 2, 3. Tor cursed, loud. Crawl, scouts again. 5 minutes out. Jessa's jaw tightened. Thought we shook 'em. They're bugs, Lick said, voice shrill. Persistent little shits. Must have tracked the flare's EM spike. Distance? Closing. 4 minutes. Plasma coils are hot. They're itching to shoot. Jessa glanced at the vault. Earth's clock was ticking, Crawl gnawing its bones. Options, Licks, fast. Decoys spent, he said, swiping. Lance has a weak pulse. Blind him again? No juice for that, Tor cut in. Sails priority. Shields are bleeding power. Then we jink, Jessa said. Hold on. She yanked the controls. The chaser rolled, flare wind pushing unevenly. A plasma bolt streaked past, green and searing, missing by meters. Nanobots swarmed the wingtip, charred, but intact. 3 minutes, Lick said, breathless. Tor leaned forward. Flares fading, speeds dropping. Fire 100 clicks, Kral'll catch us flat, Jessa growled. Licks, another hotspot, now. He hesitated, then nodded. Small one, 3 o'clock. Weak flare, tight window. Do it. The lance swiveled, fired. A flicker of light. Proxima spat again, a smaller jet. 200 kilometers per second wind, but sharp. The mag cell caught it, a quick boost. 450 kilometers per second again. The chaser shuddered, hull creaking louder. Sails at 85%, Tor warned. One more, and she tears. The Kraul fired. 2 bolts, wild but closer. One grazed the sail's edge, graphene sparked, nanobots racing. 2 minutes, Lick said, near panic. They're locking on. Jessa's mind spun. Miners didn't flinch, but this was tight. Tor, dump cargo. Anything heavy. He blinked, then grinned. Spare titanium, asteroid scraps. On it. He hit a release, plates jettisoned, spinning back into the flare's tail. The Kraul sensors flickered. 1 scout veered, chasing junk. 2 held course. Smart bugs, Jessa muttered. Licks, pulse the lance, last gasp. He tapped. The lance coughed a faint burst, a flash in the void. The lead Kraul wobbled, sensors dazzled. Distance stretched to 3 minutes. Shields at 60, Tor said. We're redlining. Red's my color, Jessa shot back, easing the chaser out of Proxima's grip. The flare faded. Speed settled at 420 kilometers per second, a steady glide. The Kraul hung back, regrouping. 4 minutes now, cautious. Proxima shrank, a red ember snarling in the rear view. The cockpit stank of sweat and scorched circuits. Jessa wiped her face. Dust from New Calgary still clung, a ghost of home. ".1's down," she said, voice low. "Rest up, Red Giant's next and it won't play nice." Tor unbuckled, stretching. "Sails at 80, nanobots are tapped, we're limping." "Limping's moving," she said. "Licks, crew check." He swallowed, glasses fogged. "I'm alive." "Barely." "Lance is at 40%, recharging slow." "Good enough," Jessa said, leaning back. The vault hummed. Zorn were out there, Star Brothers who'd forgotten Earth. She'd make them remember, one tantrum at a time. Ahead, the black stretched, Red Giant on the horizon, a fat dot promising a fight. The chaser coasted, scarred but stubborn, surfing toward Earth's last hope. Chapter 4. The Red Giant Gambit. The Flare. Chaser coasted through the void. Proxima's red snarl a fading memory. The Red Giant ahead a bloated, simmering beast. 6 light years at 420 kilometers per second. Time crawled, but the fusion core thrummed steady, nanobots stitching the ship's wounds. Jessa Cade leaned against the cockpit bulkhead, arms crossed, staring at the vault's faint glow. The Zoran artifact pulsed. Earth's lifeline, her chain. She rubbed her neck, miner's scars itching under sweat-stiff fabric. Tor lumbered in, wrench slung over his shoulder. "Sails at 78%, bots are out of juice. Hull's patched, but we're down to bare titanium." "Better than bare space," Jessa said, nodding at the screens. "Red Giant, how's it look, Licks?" Licks adjusted his glasses, tablet flickering. "K-type, old and fat, slow wind, 50 clicks per second baseline, but dense. Flares are sluggish, heavy. Lance'll wake it up, but it's a gamble." "Gambling's our gig," she said, sliding into the pilot's chair. "Plot us in. Tight orbit, Lance range." The chaser growled as Licks fed coordinates. Screens lit up, the Red Giant swelling into view. A dull crimson orb, twice Sol's girth, its corona a lazy haze of plasma wisps. Sensors hummed. Low magnetic spikes, thick particle flow. Jessa strapped in, hands steady. "Tor, magsail status?" "Coils are warm. Deploy ready," he said, buckling beside her. "Stress is high. 80%'s our ceiling now." Licks, target, she said, eyes on the star. He swiped, voice taut. Convection zone, 11 o'clock. Slow churn, primed for a kick. Dense flare if we hit it right. Right's all we've got, Jessa said, locking the lance. The reticle settled, red on red, a sluggish heartbeat. Firing, 3, 2, 1. The lance fired, a thick beam, slower than Proxima's, punching into the giant's guts. The star rumbled, a deep shudder, then belched. A flare oozed out, plasma and particles, 100 kilometers per second but heavy as hell. Mag sail, go, Jessa barked. Tor hit the key. The graphene sail unfurled, catching the wave. 1 gram, steady, a slow shove building to 2 grams. Speed crept up. 450 kilometers per second, 470. The chaser groaned, hull vibrating like a struck gong. Jessa's lips twitched. Gentle beast, rides like a freighter. Sails at 79, Tor said, eyeing readouts. Dense winds a load, bots can't keep up. Shields? 80%, he said. Radiation's low. Star's too tired to cook us. Licks exhaled, shaky. Speed's at 480, halfway to the next dot. This'll carry us. Good, Jessa said, easing the helm. The red giant loomed, a fat wall of fire, slow but relentless. The flare's push was a grind, not a sprint. A blip flashed, then 4, 5. Tor's wrench clattered. Crawl, frigates, not scouts, 3 minutes out. Jessa's gut sank. Frigates, they're escalating. Bugs don't play, Lick said, voice climbing. 5 ships, bigger coils, tighter lock. They tracked the lance burst. Distance? Closing, 2 minutes, he said, tapping frantically. They're fanning out, hurting us. Jessa glanced at the vault. Earth's clock was bleeding out, Crawl chewing its marrow. Tor, options. Sails maxed, he growled. Shields can take a hit, maybe 2. Lance is at 30%. Licks, decoy? None left, he said. Cargo's gone, unless we dump the galley. Pulse then, Jessa said. Blind 'em. He nodded, hands shaking. The lance swiveled. A faint sputter lashed back, a dim flare in the dark. 2 crawl ships wobbled, sensors dazzled, but 3 held, plasma coils glowing green. 1 minute, Lick said, near breaking. They're in range. A bolt slammed the chaser's flank. Hull rang, nanobots swarming a black gash. Shields at 60, Tor yelled. Sails at 81, tearing soon. Jessa jinked hard. The flare wind fought her, sluggish but stubborn. Another bolt grazed the sail. Graphene frayed, a hole punched clean. Speed dropped, 460 kilometers per second. Lance, anything? She snapped. 10%, Lick said. A spark, tops. Spark it, she said. The lance coughed, barely aglow. 1 crawl flinched, 4 kept coming. The red giant's flare dragged on, a slow shove. 480 kilometers per second again, but the chaser was bleeding. A frigate loomed on sensors, bigger, uglier, mandibles mounted with coils. It fired, a double bolt, precise. The first hit the sail, graphene shredded, speed crashing to 430. The second clipped the hull, titanium buckled, a screech of metal. Shields at 40, Tor roared. Hull breach, bots are sealing. Jessa's mind raced. Miners didn't fold, but this was a meat grinder. Tor, reroute all power to shields. Licks, flare again, anything. Stars tapped, Lick said, pale. Wind's all we've got, 30 seconds left. Then ride it, she said, banking the chaser into the flare's tail. The ship groaned, speed clawing back, 450 kilometers per second. Crawl bolts streaked, wild now, missing by meters. 40 seconds, Lick said. They're locking again. Tor slammed a fist on his panel. Sails at 83, tearing in 10. Hold it, Jessa growled. The flare faded. Speed locked at 460 kilometers per second. A limping glide. The crawl tightened. 3 frigates. A pincer move. A bolt seared past. Nanobots glowed, patching the flank. 20 seconds, Licks whispered. Jessa's eyes flicked to the vault. Earth's ghosts screamed in her skull. Tor, Dump the core's waste. Radioactive slag. Now. He grinned. Savage. I. A hatch blew. Fusion byproducts spewed. A hot cloud of ions. The crawl sensors scrambled. 2 ships veered, choking on the mess. The third fired blind. Missed wide. Distance stretched. 2 minutes. The red giant dimmed. Its flare spent. The chaser coasted, hull scarred, sail tattered. 60% intact. Speed at 450 kilometers per second. Shields at 30, Tor said, hoarse. Bots are fried. Manual patches from here. Crawl, Jessa asked. Falling back, 3 minutes, Lick said, slumping. Slag through 'em. Good, she said, unclenching her fists. Dot 2's down. Rest up. Next one's a bastard. The cockpit stank of burnt metal and fear. Tor unbuckled, muttering about welds. Lix wiped his glasses, hands trembling. Jessa stayed put, staring at the vault. Zorn were out there, Star Brothers who'd left Earth to rot. She'd haul them back, one bruised ride at a time. Ahead, the void stretched. Next, a pulsar, a spinning death trap. The chaser limped on, titanium heart still beating, surfing Earth's last gasp. Chapter 5. Void and Voices. The flare. Chaser drifted in the deep black, the red giant's dull glow a fading bruise astern. No stars to surf, just a cold stretch. 6 light years to the next dot, a pulsar spinning death. The ship coasted at 450 kilometers per second, fusion core humming low, its titanium hull scarred and silent. Jessa Cade sat cross-legged on the cockpit floor, back to the vault, prying dirt from her boots with a bent screwdriver. The Zoran artifact pulsed inside. Earth's ghost, her leash. She hadn't slept in days. Miners didn't, not when the rig was live. Tor slumped in the co-pilot's chair, beard matted with sweat, a cracked mug of synth coffee steaming in his grip. Sails at 58%, shredded to hell. Bots are dead, need carbon to wake 'em. We've got none, Jessa said, not looking up. Hull. Patched, manual welds, he said, voice rough. Shields at 29, one more hit, and we're breathing vacuum. Licks, she called, louder. He shuffled in from the nav bay, glasses smudged, dragging a frayed blanket. Speed steady, 450 clicks. Pulsar's 3 days out at this clip. No crawl. Yet. Yet's the word, Jessa said, tossing the screwdriver. It clanged off the bulkhead. Rest up. We're limping, not dead. The cockpit settled. Quiet, heavy. The chaser's hum was the only sound, a heartbeat in the void. Jessa stood, stretching, her miner's jacket stiff with dust. New Calgary's last gift. She tapped the vault, fingers lingering. This thing better sing when we hit Zorn space, she muttered. Earth's got no time for shy. Tor sipped his mug, grimacing. What's it even say? That crystal. General didn't explain squat. Old pact, she said, leaning on the console. Zoran were our star brothers, helped us crawl off Earth centuries back. Then they ghosted. This is our SOS, proof we're kin. Lix perked up, blanket slipping. Kin? That's myth. Zoran's a fairy tale. No signals, no wrecks. It's real, Jessa cut in, sharp. Crawl drone had coordinates, Zoran system, triple star hub. General died for that intel. Tor grunted. Bugs know it too, then. Explains the frigates. Jessa's jaw tightened. Earth's war flashed in her skull, crawl walkers cracking domes, plasma raining. She'd seen the general's bunker blow, his last gasp on comms. They'll chase us to the end, she said. We're Earth's loose thread. Zorn's the needle. Silence stretched. Lix fidgeted, then dug into his tablet. Vault's got a port. Missed it before. I could poke it? Do it, Jessa said, stepping closer. Anything's better than guessing. He cracked the vault. EMP seals hissed, the crystal gleaming inside. A faint slot glowed blue. Lix jacked in his tablet, wires jury-rigged from a miner's multi-tool. Static buzzed, then a hum. Low, melodic, like wind over steel. It's singing, he said, eyes wide. Zorn code, old dialect, Decoding now. The hum grew, voices, layered, alien but warm. Jessa's skin prickled. Miners didn't spook, but this was deep. Words formed, halting. Brothers of the dirt, we sailed the flares, bound by light. A pause, then. Aid flows to kin, if kin still burns. The hum faded, looping back, short, cryptic. Tor set his mug down, slow. That's a promise, or a taunt. Promise, Jessa said firm. They'll help, if we reach 'em. Licks unplugged, glasses fogging. Signals ancient, thousands of years. Zorn might not care anymore. They'll care, she said, shutting the vault. I'll make 'em. A blip chirped. Comms, not sensors. Jessa froze. Crawl? No, Earth, Lick said, scrambling to his station. Weak, scrambled, bouncing off old relays. Patch it, she snapped. Static crackled, then a voice, female, ragged. Any ship? New Perth? Crawl breached? 3 days left. Zorn or nothing. The line died, swallowed by noise. 3 days, Tor said low. Earth's got no pulse soon. 3 days there, Jessa said, staring at the void. Weeks for us, pulsars are shot. Licks slumped. Weeks? They'll be ash? Shut it, she barked. We surf fast they hold, that's the deal. The chaser droned on, hull creaking, sail limp. Jessa paced, boots scuffing. The voices replayed in her head. Kin still burns. Earth's embers, her fuel. Tor drained his mug, stood. I'll check the core, squeeze another day's juice. Good, she said. Licks, pulsar ETA? 70 hours, he said, voice small. It's a beast, fast spin, radiation hell. Flare's tricky. Tricky's our trade, she said, stopping at the screens. The pulsar winked ahead. Tiny, lethal, next dot. No crawl yet? Sensors were clear. A rare mercy. She sat, pulling her jacket tight. Sleep, both of you. I'll watch. Tor nodded, shuffling out. Licks hesitated, then curled up in his chair, blanket clutched. Jessa dimmed the lights. Vault's glow her only company. She traced a scar on her palm. Asteroid rig, 29. A drill blowout. She'd patched it, kept digging. Earth was bleeding worse, crawl claws in its guts. The Zoran had to care, Star Brothers or not, they'd built ships like hers once. A faint screech, sensors. She bolted upright. 2 blips, distant, crawl-shaped. Bastards, she whispered. Not now. Range, 10 hours out. Frigates, stalking slow. They'd tracked the flare trail, Red Giant's echo. She killed the alarm. Let the crew sleep. 10 hours was a gift. Pulsar'd be close by then. Jessa leaned back, eyes on the vault. The voices sang in her skull. Aid flows to kin, a lifeline or a lie. Earth had 3 days. New Perth's plea was a knife in her ribs. She'd surf that pulsar, trigger its hell, drag the chaser to Zoran space. Crawl could chase. Miners didn't break. The chaser sailed on, a battered speck, titanium heart dented but beating, coasting toward a spinning storm. Chapter 6, Pulsar Trap. The Flare. Chaser closed on the pulsar, a spinning dot of death in the black. 70 hours from the Red Giant, 450 kilometers per second steady. Fusion core growled. Hull scars glowed under nanobot patches long dried out. Jessa Cade stood at the helm, eyes locked on screens. PSRJ 1748-2446 pulsed ahead. A neutron star whipping at 716 spins per second. Its beam swept like a lighthouse, radiation hell washing the ship every tick. She flexed her hands. Miner's scars itched, Earth's clock burned in her gut. Tor stomped in, wrench dangling, sweat beading on his bald scalp. Sails at 55%, barely a net now. Shields at 28. Pulsar's chewing us already. Lance? Jessa asked, voice flat. 45%, Licks piped up, scurrying from nav. Recharged slow, enough for one solid burst. Maybe? Maybe's our fuel, she said, nodding at the star. That's our dot. Fast spin, tight flare. Plot it, Licks. He swallowed, glasses fogging. Magnetic field's a buzzsaw. Poles are hot, spitting particles. Hit the north cap and we'll get a jet. 500 clicks per second, short and sharp. Windows 10 seconds, miss it, we're toast. Jessa strapped in, screens flaring. Pulsar loomed, a gray speck wreathed in blue glow, its beam slashing past. Radiation alarms chirped, shields flickered. Tor, mag sail? Coils are live. Half spread's all she's got, he said, buckling tight. Stress'll hit 90. Tearing's a coin flip. Flip it, she said. Licks, target. He swiped, voice cracking. North cap locked. Beam cycling, 8 seconds to align. 7, Jessa counted, lance reticle steady. 6, 5. The pulsar spun, a blur of fury, 20 times Soul's mass, crushed to a 20-click ball. 3, 2, 1, fire. The lance roared, a thick beam, fusion hot, slamming the pulsar's pole. The star twitched, magnetic lines snapped, a jet erupted. Plasma and particles screamed out. 600 kilometers per second, a razor burst. Mag sail, now, Jessa yelled. Tor punched it. The graphene sail bloomed, tattered but greedy, catching the wave. 4G slammed them. Seats creaked, bones ached. Speed soared, 500 kilometers per second, 550. The chaser howled, hull shaking like a rig in a quake. Jessa gritted her teeth. Ride it. Short and sweet. Sails at 88, Tor barked. Tearing in seconds. Trim it, quarter spread, she snapped. The sail shrank. Stress dropped to 85, speed held at 570. The pulsar's jet faded. 10 seconds gone, a clean boost. Shields at 20, Lix cried. Radiation's spiking. 10 minutes, and we're cooked. 5s are out, Jessa said, banking hard. The beam swept. Blue death grazed them, shields flickering. A screech. Sensors wailed. Tor's wrench hit the deck. Crawl. Frigates, 4 of them. 2 minutes out. Jessa's blood froze. Earth's ghosts screamed louder. They're early. Track the jet? Pulsar's a beacon, Lick said, near panic. Lance lit us up. Closing fast. Distance? 90 seconds, he said, hands shaking. Big ones. Coils like cannons. The chaser coasted, pulsar shrinking. Speed locked at 560 kilometers per second, hull rattling. Jessa's mind spun. Miners didn't flinch, but this was a trap. Tor, options. Sails maxed. Shields can't hold a barrage, he growled. Lance is dry, 5%. Licks, decoy? Nothing. Galley's bare, he said. Pulsum? Too weak, Jessa said. Jink and pray. A bolt seared past. Green plasma, close enough to smell. The chaser rolled. Pulsar wind gone. Inertia their only friend. 60 seconds, Lix yelped. 2 frigates fanned wide. Mandibles gleamed, coils pulsing. A double shot, the first hit the sail, graphene ripping clean, speed crashed to 530. The second slammed the hull, titanium buckled, a shriek of metal. Shields at 10, Tor roared. Breach, starboard bay. Jessa yanked the helm. The chaser spun, leaking air. Alarms blared. Red lights, death knells. Seal it, manual, she barked. Tor unbuckled, lurching aft, wrench in hand, a miner's fix. 40 seconds, Lick said, voice breaking. They're locking, 3 ships now. A third frigate loomed, bigger, uglier, a scar across its hull. It fired, a triple bolt, precise. One grazed the cockpit. Screens fizzed, Jessa's chair sparked. Shields gone, Lick screamed. Hull's bare. Tor, status, Jessa yelled. Sealing, 30 seconds, he shouted back, voice muffled. Metal clanged, wrench on plate. The pulsar's beams swept. Radiation soaked them, skin prickling. 20 seconds, Lick said. Crawl R. A bolt hit, direct flank. The chaser spun, hull tore, a fist-sized hole. Air howled. Jessa grabbed the vault, anchoring. Tor! Sealed, he roared, stumbling back, face red. Hull's thin, next one's through. Jessa righted the ship, speed at 510 kilometers per second, a wounded glide. Crawl tightened. 4 frigates, a net. Licks, anything. Lance, spark, he gasped, tapping. The lance coughed. A faint flash, useless. A frigate flinched. 3 fired. Bolts streaked, 2 missed, 1 clipped the tail. Thrusters sputtered. Speed bled to 490. 10 seconds, Licks cried. Jessa's eyes flicked to the vault. Earth's 3 days were ash unless they broke free. Tor, core slag. Last of it, he said, slamming a lever. Radioactive waste spewed. A thin cloud, glowing hot. Crawl sensors scrambled. 2 ships veered, choking. The scarred frigate held. Fired blind, missed. Distance stretched. 30 seconds. The pulsar faded, beams sweeping wide. Radiation eased. Hull still hot. Crawl at 1 minute, Lick said, panting. Falling back. Slag's thinning. Shields? Jessa asked, voice raw. 0, Tor said, slumping in. Hull's a sieve. Patched, but brittle. Sail? 40%, barely a kite, he said, wiping blood from a cut brow. Jessa exhaled. Dust caked her throat. New Calgary's grit. .3's down. Rest, now. Licks curled up, trembling. Tor stayed put, staring at the void. Pulsar nearly ate us. Crawl finished the job. We're alive, Jessa said, unbuckling. Zorn's closer. Earth's not ash yet. 3 days, Licks whispered. Weeks for us. Math's cruel. Then we beat it, she said, standing. The vault hummed. Kin still burns. A faint echo in her skull. Ahead, the black stretched. Binary stars next, a tricky dance. The chaser limped, titanium cracked but clinging, surfing on fumes and will. Chapter 7. The Binary Dance. The flare. Chaser coasted off the pulsar's jet, a bruised speck in the void. Twin stars gleaming ahead, 2 yellow dots locked in a tight waltz. Weeks at 490 kilometers per second. Fusion core sputtered, hull creaked, its titanium skin patched with spit and prayers. Jessa Cade leaned over the console, squinting at screens. Binary system, G-type twins, orbiting each other every 8 days. Their coronas tangled, a dance of plasma and promise. She cracked her knuckles, miner's hands, steady despite the ache. Tor hauled in from the bay, shirt soaked, dragging a coil of burnt graphene. Sails at 42%, cobbled it with scraps. Shields are dead. Hull's all we've got. Lance? Jessa asked, voice gravel. 50%, Lick said, slumped in nav, glasses crooked. Slow charge, enough for 2 weak bursts or 1 big one. Big's our play, she said, nodding at the twins. Binary's tricky. Sink the flares, double the push, plot it, Licks. He rubbed his eyes, tablet flickering. Stars are close, half an astronomical unit apart. Magnetic fields overlap. Hit the bridge zone and we'll trigger both. 600 clicks per second if we time it. Mess it. Up, we're slag. Jessa strapped in. Screens glowed. The twins spinning. Coronas kissing in a fiery arc. Sensors pinged. Magnetic hum. Particle churn. Tor, magsail? Coils are patched. Half spreads the max, he said, buckling in. Stress'll hit 90 again. Tearing's on the table. Table's where we eat, she said. Licks, target. He swiped, voice steadier. Bridge zone, 10 o'clock where the fields mesh. 15-second window, both stars'll flare if we nail it. 15's plenty, Jessa said, locking the lance. The reticle danced, yellow on yellow, a pulsing seam. Firing, 3, 2, 1. The lance fired, a fat beam, fusion sharp, slicing the magnetic knot. The twins shuddered. Plasma bridges snapped, then flared. 2 jets erupted. Twin waves, 300 kilometers per second each, sinking into a 650 kilometers per second wall. Magsail, now! Jessa barked. Tor slammed the key. The graphene sail unfurled, a ragged net catching the double punch. 3G hit, then 4G, seats groaning. Speed surged, 550 kilometers per second, 600. The chaser sang, a high wail of strain, hull vibrating, patched plates rattling. Jessa grinned, fierce. That's a dance. Twins step lively. Sails at 89, Tor yelled. Trimming, Quarter spread. The sail shrank. Stress eased to 86. Speed locked at 620. Hull's holding, barely, he added, wiping sweat. Licks gripped his chair, grinning back. 620, fastest yet. Next dot's in reach. Shove's worth it, Jessa said, easing the helm. The twins blazed. Yellow fury, their flares a paired roar fading fast. A blip, then three, sharp. Tor's coil hit the deck. Crawl, frigates again, 4 minutes out. Jessa's grin died. Bastards don't quit. Pulsar didn't shake 'em? Trail's hot, Lick said, tapping fast. Flare's EM spiked. They're locked on. Distance? 3 minutes, he said, steadier now. 3 ships. Scarred one's back, meaner. The chaser coasted. Speed steady, hull humming. Jessa's gut twisted. Earth's 3 days were dust unless they danced free. Tor. Options. Sails stretched. Shields are gone, he growled. Lance has a weak pulse, 30% left. Licks, decoy? Bare bones, he said. Galley's got a heater. Dump it? Do it, Jessa said. Pulse 2. Double whammy. Tor lugged the heater, a dented box, aft, jettisoning it with a hiss. Licks fired the lance, a thin sputter, bright but frail. The heater spun, glowing. Crawl sensors twitched. 2 ships veering. The scarred frigate held. Coils hot, closing. 2 minutes, Lick said. It's not fooled. A bolt streaked, green, wide, grazed the sail. Graphene frayed. Speed dipped to 600. Sails at 87, Tor barked. Next hit's the end. Jessa jinked. The twins' fading wind fought her, a slow drag. Licks, second flare, now. Stars are cooling, he said, swiping. Weak spot, 2 o'clock, small kick, 100 clicks. Take it, she snapped. The lance swiveled, fired a faint beam. The twins grumbled. A thin jet, 150 kilometers per second, synced late. The sail caught it. Speed clawed to 610. Sails at 90, Tor roared. Tearing, now! A rip sang. Graphene split, a third gone. Speed crashed to 580. A crawl bolt hit. Hull buckled. A fist-sized dent starboard. Breach, Licks yelped. Ceiling, manual. Tor bolted aft. Wrench swinging, metal clanging. 90 seconds, Lick said. Scarred one's locking. Jessa's mind raced. Miners danced with death, but this was tight. Tor, status. Patch in, 10 seconds, he shouted, voice strained. A hiss. Air steadied. Sealed, thin as foil. Foil flies, Jessa said, banking hard. The scarred frigate fired. Triple bolts, wild. One grazed the tail, thrusters spitting. Speed bled, 560 kilometers per second. 60 seconds, Lick said, calm breaking. They're fanning. The twins dimmed. Flares spent. A slow goodbye. Jessa's eyes flicked to the vault. Kin still burns. Earth's echo, her pulse. Tor, slag? Dry, he said, staggering back. Core's clean, nothing left. Licks, pulse? 10%, he said, tapping. The lance coughed, barely a spark. The scarred frigate flinched. 2 held, firing. Bolts missed, close, scorching. 30 seconds, Lick said. They're pissed. Jessa yanked the helm. The chaser rolled, a wounded bird. Speed at 550, hull groaning. Tor, cut thrusters, full stop. He blinked, then nodded. Aye, killing 'em. Thrusters died. Speed froze. Crawl overshooting. Bolts streaked ahead. Distance jumped. 2 minutes. They'll loop, Tor said, breathless. Bought us a breath. Breath's enough, Jessa said, restarting thrusters. Slow climb, 560 kilometers per second. The scarred frigate turned. Slow, angry, others followed. 3 minutes, Lick said, slumping. They're regrouping. Range is ours. Sail? Jessa asked, voice raw. 35%, Tor said. A rag. Next flare's a prayer. Prayer's our trade, she said, unbuckling. Dot 4s, down, rest. Binary kicked us close. The cockpit stank. Burnt metal, stale air. Tor rubbed his neck, blood crusting his brow. Lix hugged his tablet, a faint smile, first in days. Jessa stood, boots scuffing. New Calgary's dust clung, Earth's last whisper. Zorn's in reach. Earth's got a pulse if we're fast. Ahead, the void curved. Zorn's space loomed, triple star hub a faint promise. The chaser coasted, titanium cracked, sail in tatters, surfing on guts and grace. Chapter 8. Edge of Zoran Space. The flare chaser limped into Zoran space. Binary stars a faint twinkle astern, a triple star system blooming ahead. 3 suns, gold and white, spinning a slow triad. Weeks at 560 kilometers per second. Fusion core coughed, hull groaned, its titanium skin a patchwork of dents and welds. Jessa Cade stood at the helm, hands on hips, staring at screens. Zoran territory, edge of the unknown. Her miner's jacket hung loose. New Calgary's dust flaking off like dead skin. Earth's 3 days were ash. She felt it in her bones. Tor slumped in the co-pilot's chair, nursing a bruised hand, wrench at his feet. Sails at 33%. Rags and hope. Hull's a sieve. Next hits through. Lance? Jessa asked, eyes on the triad. 20%, Lick said, perched at nav, glasses smudged. Barely a pulse. Recharging's a crawl. Pulse'll do, she said, nodding at the stars. Zorn's here. Triple hub, big game. Plot us in, Licks. He tapped his tablet, voice steadier. Primary's a G-type. Sol's kin. Twins are white dwarfs, tight orbit. Magnetic fields are wild. Flares aplenty. We're at the rim. Ring worlds on sensors. Jessa leaned in. Screens flared, a jaw-drop view. 3 suns danced, their light glinting off a vast ring, a hoop of steel and glass spinning round the primary. Smaller rings hugged the dwarfs. Zoran engineering, alien and sleek. That's home, she said, voice low. Star Brothers, hope they're friendly. Tor grunted. Friendly don't chase crawl across light years. Kin's kin, she said, tapping the vault. The Zoran artifact pulsed, Earth's plea, her ace. A hum, sensors purred, then chirped. Lix's tablet lit up. Ships, 5, inbound, 2 minutes out. Jessa's gut tightened. Earth's ghosts whispered, too late. Crawl? No, Zoran, he said, zooming in. Sails like ours, mag sails, big and silver, fast, closing in 1 minute. Friendly? Tor asked, sitting up. No weapons hot, Lick said. But they're boxing us, herding vibe. The chaser coasted, speed steady, hull creaking. Screens showed them. 5 ships, sleek as knives, mag sails shimmering, 10 times their size, gliding on starlight. Hail 'em, Jessa said, strapping in. Licks patched comms, static, then a voice, smooth and cold, like polished steel. Vessel of dirt, state intent. This is Zoran Rim. Trespass ends here. Jessa keyed the mic, voice rough. Jessa Cade, flare chaser. We're kin, Earth's dying, crawl chewing its guts. Got your artifact, old pact. We need help. A pause, silence stretched. The lead ship loomed, hull glinted, a crescent of white metal. Artifact, show it. Words are wind. Jessa cracked the vault. EMP seals hissed, the crystal glowing. Lix jacked it to the comms. Its hum sang, Brothers of the dirt, aid flows to kin. She held it up. Screens flickered, transmitting. That's us, kin burning. Crawl'll hit you next if we fall. Another pause, then motion. The Zoran ships fanned out, sails catching the triad's wind. Escort, not attack. Follow, council decides. Stray and you're dust. Fair, Jessa said, easing the helm. Tor, magsail, match 'em. Half spread's all we've got, he said, keying it. The sail bloomed, ragged, slow. Speed ticked to 570 kilometers per second, trailing the Zoran glide. The ring world swelled. Kilometers wide, a ribbon of light and shadow, cities glinting on its inner curve. Smaller ships darted. Mag sails everywhere, a swarm of silver wings. They surf natural flares, Lick said, awed. No lances. Stars do the work. Smart, Jessa said, eyes sharp. Ours got us here. Beat to hell, but here. A blip. Sensors screeched. Tor's wrench clattered. Crawl! Frigates! 6 minutes out. Jessa's blood chilled. Earth's doom clung like damp rot. They followed. Binary trail? Flare spikes, Lick said, tapping fast. 5 ships, scarred one's lead. Closing, 5 minutes. Zorn'll see 'em, Tor said. Test their mood. Test ours too, Jessa muttered, keying comms. Zorn led, crawl on our tail. 5 frigates hostile. Your rim, your call. The voice returned. Sharper. Crawl. Known pests. Hold course. We engage. 3 Zorn ships peeled off. Sails flared. Speed doubling. 800 kilometers per second. A blur. They're fast, Lix breathed. Natural wind. Triads pumping. Watch, Jessa said, screens locked. The Zoran met the crawl. Sails. Spun, beams lanced. Not plasma, but tight light, cutting. A frigate sparked. Hull split, spinning dead. Another fired. Green bolts scattered. Zoran dodging like dancers. 4 minutes, Lick said. Scarred one's holding. The scarred frigate loomed. Coils blazing. Mandibles snapping. It fired. A triple bolt. Wild. One grazed a Zoran sail, shredding it. The Zoran ship spun. Recovered, lashed back. A beam pierced the frigate's flank. Green fire bloomed, fading fast. 3 minutes, Lick said. Crawls down to 3. They're tough, Tor growled. Scarred bastards still kicking. Jessa's hands flexed. Miners didn't gawk, but this was war. Zorn, status? She keyed. Pests thin. 2 remain. Escort holds. Dock at ring. Council waits. The lead ship nudged closer, guiding, firm. The chaser followed. Hull creaked, sail sagged. Behind, Zoran ships danced. Crawl bolts flared, fading. 2 minutes, Lick said. Scarred one's retreating. Last bug's toast. A flash, final crawl ship cracked. A silent bloom. Zoran's sails reformed. 3 returned, 2 chasing stragglers. Clean, Tor said, exhaling. Star Brothers don't mess around. Hope they don't clean us, Jessa said, easing into the ring's orbit. The dock loomed. A slot of light, clamps ready. The chaser shuddered. Docking thrusters coughed, latching on. The ring world swallowed them. Metal hummed, airlock sealed. Jessa unbuckled, grabbing the vault. Crystal pulsed, kin still burns. Gear up, council's next. Earth's out of days. Lix stood, shaky but firm. They're real. Zorn's real. Real's step 1, she said, heading aft. Help's step 2. Tor hefted his wrench, a half smile. Crawl got a taste. Council better bite. They will, Jessa said, boots ringing on the ramp. The chaser settled, scarred, tattered. A miner's rig turned warbird. Zoran space glowed. Triple suns, alien promise. Earth's last thread. Chapter 9. The Star Court. The flare chaser's ramp hissed down, Zoran air rushing in, cool, metallic, tinged with ozone. Jessa Cade stepped onto the ring-world dock, boots scuffing titanium plates, the vault tucked under her arm. The triple suns blazed through a curved viewport. Gold and white, a triad casting sharp shadows. Her miner's jacket hung loose. New Calgary's dust a faint shroud. Earth's last breath clung to her like guilt. Tor followed, wrench slung over his shoulder, squinting at the dock. Sleek, seamless, lined with Zoran ships, their mag sails furled like silver wings. Fancy digs, Star Brothers don't skimp. Lix trailed, clutching his tablet, glasses fogged. Sensors say it's a kilometer wide, spins for gravity, population's millions, maybe billions. Billions better care, Jessa said, voice low. Earth's got hours, not days. A hum. 3. Zorn approached, gliding over the deck. Tall, lean, 2 meters easy, skin like polished quartz, eyes glowing faint blue. Robes shimmered, magsail thread woven in, starlight made flesh. The lead one stopped, voice ringing, cold and clear. Jessa Cade, vessel of dirt. I am Vreen, of the Star Court. Your artifact calls, council waits. Follow. Jessa nodded, falling in. Her crew flanked her, steps echoing. The dock stretched, arches soared, light bending off alien metal. Crawl hit your rim, she said, testing. Pests, you called 'em. Earth's bleeding from 'em. Vren's head tilted, a flicker in his gaze. Crawl are known, scavengers of the void. Your dirt burns, ours does not. Kinship is old wind. Old winds still wind, she said, tapping the vault. Your voices promised aid. Kin still burns. They entered a chamber, vast, circular, walls pulsing with star maps, triple suns glaring through a dome. 5 Zorans sat, council, perched on thrones of white alloy, eyes like cold stars. Vren gestured, center floor, a holopad. Speak, Dirtborn. Show your claim. Jessa set the vault down, cracking it. EMP seals hissed, the crystal glowing. She jacked Lix's cable. Its hum filled the room. Brothers of the dirt, we sailed the flares. Aid flows to kin. She stood tall, voice cutting. That's you, Zorn. Earth's your kin? Crawl's cracking us open. 3 days gone, hours left. We surfed hell to get here, Pax Live. Help us. The council stirred, murmurs, sharp and melodic. A female Zorn, older, eyes sharper, leaned forward. Cleara, her name hummed on a screen. Dirt's packed as dust, centuries cold. Crawl gnaw you, not us. Why stir old winds? 'Cause they'll gnaw you next, Jessa said, stepping closer. We're the front. Earth falls, crawl spread. You've got fleets, mag sails, beams. We've got scraps and guts. Pax mutual, kin burns, you fight. Vren's voice cut in, cool, edged. Your vessel, crude, broken. Surfing flares with a lance, barbaric. We ride stars pure, your dirt stains us. Stains. Win wars, Jessa shot back. Crawl don't care about pure, they'll shred your rings. We surfed 6 dots, soul to here, beat 'em off. That's grit, your kin's grit. Tor shifted, wrench tapping his leg. Lix clutched his tablet, silent, but eyes flicked to the council. Clyra's gaze narrowed, scanning the chaser's scars on a hollow feed. Grit, crude strength. Yet Crawl chase you, your trail risks us. Risks here, Jessa said, pointing at the vault. You ghosted us, left Earth to crawl. Now we're crawling to you. Pax a debt, pay it. A third Zoran, broad, voice deep, Zorath, rumbled. Debt's memory, aid's choice. Your dirt's weak, Crawl crush it. Why bleed for Ash? 'Cause Ash fights, she said, voice rising. New Perth's holding. Hours, not minutes. Crawl'll hit your rim. 5 frigates tasted your beams. More's coming. Hundreds. Thousands. We're your shield. Cracked, but standing. The council hushed. Eyes glowed. Minds ticking. Vren lifted a hand. Hollow shifted. Crawl ships blooming. Scarred frigate. Wrecks. A growing swarm beyond. Crawl mass. Your words hold weight. Yet kinship's thin. Proofs needed. Proofs me, Jessa said, slamming a fist on the vault. Surfed Sol, Proxima, Pulsar Hell. Beat Crawl every dot. That's your blood. Star Brothers built us tough. Artifacts your voice. Aid flows, or it's a lie. Clyra stood, robes rippling, a faint hum. Bold, Dirtborn, grit's clear. Yet trust is earned. Crawl's threat looms, not strikes. Ride with us. Prove your flare's heart. Pass and aid flows. Jessa's jaw tightened. Miners didn't beg, but this was close. Ride what? A triad flare, Vren said, stepping forward. Our stars sink, once a cycle, fierce and pure. Surf it, match our sails. Fail, and dirt burns alone. Tor muttered, ship's a wreck, sails rags. We've danced worse, Jessa said, eyes locked on Vren. When? Now, Clyra said, gesturing. Hollow flared, triad suns pulsing. Gold swelled, whites flared. Windows ours, prepare. Jessa grabbed the vault. Crystal pulsed. Aid flows. Deal, chasers ready. Earth's ash if we don't. Zorath rumbled. Bold or dead, or ride proves both. Bold wins, she said, turning. Crew, back to the ship. We surf. They marched out. Zoran eyes followed, cold but curious. The dock buzzed. Mag sail ships prepped, a fleet of silver grace. Jessa's boots rang. New Calgary's dust flaked, Earth's plea in her grip. Tor, sail? 33, prayers and spit, he said, grim. Triad'll shred it. Licks, Lance. 25 now, he said, jogging. Pulse at best, flares on them. Then we ride pure, Jessa said, vault tight. Zoran want a show, Earth's watching. The chaser loomed, scarred, cracked, a miner's rig turned warbird, docked amid alien sleekness. Jessa climbed the ramp. Hull hummed, faint but alive. Strap in, Triad's our ticket. Crawl's coming. Zoran's our fist. The ring world pulsed. Triad suns flared, a wave building. The chaser shuddered. Ready or not, Earth's last dance was hers. Chapter 10. The Flare Rite. The flare chaser undocked from the Zoran ring world, thrusters coughing as it pulled free, titanium hull glinting under the Triad's glare, gold sun swelling, white dwarfs pulsing tight. Jessa Cade gripped the helm, eyes locked on screens. The flare was brewing, a triple-star tantrum syncing up. Her miner's jacket hung loose. New Calgary's dust flaked off, Earth's ash in her veins. The vault sat bolted beside her, crystal pulsing, aid flows. Zoran's test was now. Tor strapped in, wrench wedged beside him, sweat streaking his beard. Sails at 31%, stitched with grit. Hull's brittle. Triad'll snap us if we slip. Lance? Jessa asked, voice steady. 28, Lick said, buckling at nav, glasses fogged. Pulse at best. Flares on the stars, not us. Then we ride pure, she said, nodding at the screens. Zoran want proof. Earth's grit's our wave. Match 'em licks. He tapped fast. Screens flared. Triad's peaking. Magnetic fields lock in 10 minutes. Flares at 700 clicks per second. Biggest yet. Windows 20 seconds. Miss it. We're dust. The chaser hummed. Fusion core strained, a faint rattle in its bones. Ahead, Zoran ships formed up. Dozens. Mag sails unfurling, silver wings catching the Triad's wind. Sleek, graceful, dwarfing her rig. Comms crackled. Vren's voice, cool steel. Dirtborn, ride the crest, match our sails, or burn alone. Matching's our gig, Jessa keyed back, dry. Tor, magsail, half spread. Half's all she's got, he said, hitting it. The graphene sail bloomed, tattered, patched, shivering as the Triad's pre-flare wind tugged. Speed ticked, 570 kilometers per second to 580. The suns pulsed. Gold swelled, dwarfs flared, plasma bridges snapping between them. Sensors screamed. Magnetic flux spiked, radiation climbing. 5 minutes, Lick said, voice tight but firm. Zoran's at 650, crest's building. Jessa eased the helm, the chaser aligned, a speck amid Zoran giants. Sail status? 32, tearing's locked, Tor said, grim. Stress'll hit 95, coin flip again. Flip it, she said, eyes on the flare, gold and white swirling, a wave rising. A hum, then a roar. The Triad erupted, 3 jets fused, a 750 kilometer per second wall of plasma and particles, a cosmic swell. Zoran sails caught it. Ships leaped, 800 kilometers per second in a blink, silver streaks riding clean. Mag sail, full, Jessa barked. Tor slammed the key. The sail stretched, rags straining, 5 grams hit, pinning them. Speed soared, 600 kilometers per second, 650. The chaser screamed, hull buckled, a high whale, plates popping loose. Jessa gritted. Miner's spine held. Crest's ours, ride it. Sails at 93, Tor roared. Tearing in 10, trimming. He cut it. Quarter spread. Stress dropped to 90. Speed at 680. Hull's cracking. Bots are gone. Manual holds, she snapped. Licks, Zoran. 820, he yelled, grinning wild. We're close, 680's grit. The flare roared. Triad light bathed them, gold and white, a searing rush. The chaser danced. Titanium groaned. Sail flapped. Speed hit 690, a hair from tearing. Zoran's ships flanked. Sails gleamed, effortless. Vren's voice cut through. Dirtborn holds. Crude, but alive. Crude wins, Jessa growled, banking into the crest. Speed ticked. 700 kilometers per second. A miner's howl against alien grace. A screech, hull plate blew. Starboard, a fist-sized rip. Air whistled. Jessa grabbed the console. Tor, seal! He lunged, wrench swinging. A patch plate from the bay slammed down, clanging, sealing. Thin as spit, he shouted, staggering back. Speed held. 695, sail at 92. 5 seconds, Lix cried. Flares peaking. The wave crested, 750 kilometers per second raw. Zoran hitting 850. Chaser clawed to 710, a battered bird in a silver flock. The flare faded. Speed locked at 700, a glide on fumes. Sails at 94, holding, Tor said, breathless. Hull's a sieve, patched, but leaking. Leaks fly, Jessa said, easing off. Zoran's ships slowed, circling. Sails furled, a silent nod. Comms buzzed. Clyra's voice, sharp but warm. Dirtborn rides, grit-proven. Flare's heart beats in you, kinship holds. Jessa exhaled. Dust caked her throat, Earth's echo. Aid flows? Council agrees, Vren cut in. Crawl mass, your dirt's shield. We arm, fleet rises. Fast, she keyed. Earth's ash, hours left. Screens flared. Zoran docks churned, ringworld buzzing. Hundreds of magsail ships prepped, a silver tide. Lix stared, awed. Fleet, real fleet. Earth's got a chance. Chance is all we need, Jessa said, unbuckling. Tor, chaser? Limping, sails at 30, hull's a quilt, he said, wiping blood from his knuckles. She surfed, barely. Barely's victory, she said, grabbing the vault. Crystal pulsed, aid flows. Lix, cords back? Plotted, he said, steady now. Triad boost, weeks cut to days, Earth's close. A blip, sensors chirped. Tor tensed. Crawl? No, Zoran, Lix said, zooming. Escort, 10 ships, big ones. They're with us. Jessa nodded. Zoran's sails flanked them, a silver guard. Chaser, a battered speck in their wake. Star Brothers ride. Earth's not ash yet. The triad dimmed. Flare spent. A quiet swell. Jessa stood, boots scuffed, miner's scars ached. New Calgary's fall replayed, crawl claws in her skull. Strap in. Zoran's fleet's our fist. We surf home. The chaser coasted, hull cracked, sail in shreds, titanium heart beating faint but fierce, riding with alien grace to Earth's last stand. Chapter 11. Alliance and Armada. The flare chaser hung in Zoran orbit, docked to a silver spire on the ringworld's edge. Triple suns glared, gold and white, casting long shadows over a waking fleet. Jessa Cade stood at the viewport, arms crossed, watching Zoran's ships bloom. Hundreds of mag sails unfurling, a silver tide glinting like knives. Her miner's jacket was stiff. New Calgary's dust a faint stain, Earth's death throes in her chest. The vault sat beside her, crystal steady. Aid flows. Zoran's word was gold now. Tor leaned on the bulkhead, wrench dangling, a fresh bruise purpling his jaw from the flare right. Sails at 29%, stitched with spit. Hull's a patchwork. Zoran better carry us. Lance? Jessa asked, eyes on the Armada. 30%, Lix said, perched at nav, tablet glowing. Pulse ready. Recharge is crawling. Pulse'll do, she said, turning. Zoran's riding. Earth's got ours. Planet Lix. He nodded, fingers flying. Triad's quiet. Next flare's days out. Zoran sails run natural wind. 800 clicks per second steady. We chain dots back. Binary, pulsar, soul. Days, not weeks. Jessa paced. Boots scuffed, hull creaked. Days. Earth's ash in hours. New Perth's tough, Tor rumbled, flexing his hand. 3 days held. Hours more's grit. Grit's our kin, she said, stopping. Zoran's fist, let's swing it. Comms hummed. Vren's voice crisp. Dirtborn, fleet musters. 300 sails. Crawl will break. Join us. Dock releases now. Releasing. Jessa keyed. Dry. Tor. Undock. Licks. Match 'em. Tor hit the clamps. Chaser shuddered free. Thrusters spitting. The sail unfurled. Rags and patches. Speed ticked to 580 kilometers per second. A limping shadow amid Zoran grace. Screens flared. Zoran ships formed up. Crescent hulls, mag sails spanning kilometers, beams primed. Not plasma, but light, tight and lethal. 300, Lix breathed, awed. Earth's never seen this. Crawl will, Jessa said, strapping in. The Triad's wind tugged. Zoran surged. 800 kilometers per second. Chaser lagged. 600. Tor, squeeze the sail. Full spreads bust, he said, keying it. Half's pushing. 620. Speed crept. 620 kilometers per second. Hull groaning. A blip. Sensors chirped. Lix tensed. Crawl? No, Zoran, he said, zooming. Scouts. 10 more, big sails. Flanking us. Escort. Jessa nodded. Silver wings hugged tight, towing the chaser. Speed hit 650. A gift. Star Brothers pull weight. Earth's clock's ticking. The armada moved. Ringworld shrank. Triad suns dimmed. Vren's voice cut in. First dot. Binary pair. Winds live. Crawl lurk beyond. Ready your dirt heart. Hard steel, Jessa keyed, glancing at the vault. Kin still burns. Crawl'll choke on it. The binary loomed. Yellow twins, their dance familiar. Zoran's sails caught the wind. Speed spiked, 850 kilometers per second. Chaser rode their wake, 680. Sails at 30, Tor barked. Stress at 90. Tearing's close. Hold it, Jessa said, eyes on the twins. Plasma bridges flickered, a faint swell. Zoran ships danced. Sails flared, a silver wave. Chaser clung, a battered speck. A screech, sensors wailed. Crawl, Lix yelped. Frigates, 8, 3 minutes out. Jessa's blood iced. Earth's doom clung. They're early. Binary trail? Wind's hot, Lix said, tapping. Scarred one's led, bigger, meaner. Zoran, crawl inbound, Jessa keyed, sharp. Clyra's voice, calm, edged. Pests swarm. 30 sails engage. Hold course. Armada rides. 30. Zoran ships peeled. Sails blazed. 900 kilometers per second. Slamming the crawl line. Beams lanced. Crawl hulls sparked. One cracked. Green fire bloomed, fading fast. 2 minutes, Lick said. Scarred one's dodging. The scarred frigate loomed. Coils pulsing. Mandibles snapping. A monster grown fat on Earth's ruin. It fired. Triple bolts grazed a Zoran sail. Silver shredded, ship spinning. Zoran countered. Beams pierced. Flank smoked, but it held. 1 minute, Lick said. 6 crawl left. Scarred one's charging. Jessa's hands flexed. Miners didn't flinch, but this was war. Tor, lance pulse? 30, weak spark, he said, ready. Blind 'em? Do it, she snapped. The lance coughed. Faint, bright. Crawl sensors twitched. Scarred one veering. Distance stretched, 2 minutes. Zoran beams flared. 2 crawl ships burst. Wrecks spinning. 4 left, Lick said, steady now. Scarred one's retreating. Zoran's chewing 'em. Chew faster, Jessa muttered. Earth's hours burned in her skull. The binary faded. Zoran reformed, 270 strong. Chaser rode their tail, 670 kilometers per second. Vren's voice. Pests thin. Pulsar next. Crawl mass there. Hundreds stir. Fleet holds. Dirt rides with us. Hundreds, Tor growled, wiping sweat. Earth's swarmed. Then we swarm back, Jessa said, eyes on the vault. Aid flows. Licks, ETA, Pulsar, 2 days, he said. Zoran speed cuts it. Earth's close. The armada surged. Binary wind died. Pulsar loomed. A spinning dot. Radiation hell. Zoran's sails gleamed. Chaser's rags fluttered. Hull creaking. Speed hit 680. A towed wreck in a silver storm. Sails at 28, Tor said, hoarse. Next hits the end. Ends crawls, Jessa said, unbuckling. Rest. Pulsar's a fight. A quiet beat. Cockpit stank of burnt circuits, stale air. Lix hugged his tablet. Eyes bright, fear gone. Tor cracked his knuckles. A faint grin. Jessa leaned on the viewport. Zoran fleet stretched. A silver sea. Earth's fist. Her gamble. New Perth's holding. Gotta be, she said, voice low. Zoran's hour tide. Crawl drown. The chaser coasted. Hull cracked, sail frayed, titanium bones bent but beating, riding with alien might to Earth's last gasp. Chapter 12. Surfing to Salvation. The Flare. Chaser streaked toward Earth, Zoran Armada in tow. 270 silver sails blazing, cutting the void at 850 kilometers per second. Pulsar wind faded. Sol's glow swelled. Home. A blue ember flickering in crawl shadow. Jessa Cade gripped the helm, screens alive. Earth loomed, orbitals choked with bug ships, green bolts raining. Her miner's jacket hung ragged, New Calgary's dust. Flaked off, Earth's pulse faint but beating. The vault glowed beside her, aid flows. Zoran's fleet was the fist she'd dragged across the stars. Tor strapped in, wrench jammed beside him, blood crusting his beard from pulsar scars. Sails at 25%, rags and guts, hull's a shell, crawl'll punch through. Lance? Jessa asked, eyes on Sewell. 32, Lix said, buckled at nav, glasses cracked but steady. Weak pulse, last gasp. Gasp's enough, she said, nodding at the fleet. Zoran's the wave, Earth's the shore, lock it, Lix. He tapped, screens flared. Sol's wind, steady at 50 clicks per second. Zoran's riding it, ETA 3 hours. Crawl swarm, hundreds, low orbit. New Perth's a dot holding. Jessa's jaw tightened. Earth's hours were threads, crawl claws deep. 3 hours, New Perth's ash by then. Zoran's fast, Tor rumbled, flexing scarred hands. We surfed hell, they'll shred bugs. Shreds our shot, she said, easing the helm. Chaser hit 690 kilometers per second. Towed in Zoran wake. Comms crackled. Clyra's voice, sharp. Dirtborn, Sol's rim. Crawl mass. 500 sails stir. Armada engages. Hold your heart. Heart steel, Jessa keyed, dry. Tor, magsail, what's left? Quarter spread. Pushing 690, he said, hitting it. The sail bloomed. Tattered, frail. Speed ticked to 700. Hull creaking like a miner's rig in a storm. Screens blazed. Zoran fleet fanned out. Magsails glinting. Beams lanced. Tight light slicing crawl lines. Earth swelled. Blue cracked with fire. Crawl frigates swarming. Scarred monster at the lead. 500, Lix breathed, awed. Zoran's outnumbered, 2-1. Numbers don't surf, Jessa said. Zoran ships danced. Sails caught Sol's wind, 900 kilometers per second. Beams carved, crawl hulls sparked, dozens bursting in silent blooms. A blip, sensors screamed. Crawl, 10 frigates, breaking for us, Lix yelped. 2 minutes out, Jessa's blood chilled. Earth's doom clung. They see the wreck. Easy meet. Zoran, crawl splinter, she keyed, sharp. Vren's voice, calm. Pests split. 20 sails intercept. Hold. Armada presses. 20. Zoran ships peeled. Sails flared, slamming the crawl flank. Beams pierced. 3 frigates cracked. Green fire fading. 1 minute, Lix said. 7 left, scarred ones charging. The scarred frigate loomed. Coils blazing, mandibles snapping. Earth's butcher, fat on ruin. It fired. Triple bolts, streaked. Zoran dodged, 1 grazed. Silver shredded, ship spinning. Tor, pulse, Jessa snapped. 30, faint spark, he barked, firing. The lance coughed, dim, bright. Crawl sensors twitched, scarred 1 veering. Distance stretched, 90 seconds. Zoran beams flared. 2 crawl burst. 5 held. Scarred 1 rallying. They're tough, Tor growled. Zoran's chewing, slow. Chew's enough, Jessa said. Earth's orbit burned. Crawl swarming. Zoran cut through, 200 sails strong. Crawl thinned, 400 left. Licks, New Perth? Faint, holding, he said, steady. Domes cracked, hours, maybe less. A bolt seared. Crawl frigate grazed the chaser. Hull rang, a dent starboard. Breach! Tor roared. Air whistled. He lunged, wrench swinging. A patch plate slammed, ceiling. Thin as ash, he shouted, staggering back. Speed bled, 680 kilometers per second, sail at 23. 60 seconds, Lix cried. Scarred one's locking. Jessa jinked. Soul's wind dragged, faint. Chaser rolled, a wounded bird. Crawl bolts streaked. 2 missed, 1 clipped the tail. Thrusters died, speed crashed to 650. Lance, anything, she barked. 10%, Lix said, tapping. The lance sputtered, useless glow. The scarred frigate fired. Triple bolts. Zoran sail blocked. 1 burst, silver wreck. Chaser spared. Vren's voice. Pests falter. Armada breaks them. Dirt holds. Soul's crest rises. Screens flared. Soul pulsed. A faint flare. 100 kilometers per second wind. Zoran caught it. 950 kilometers per second. Crawl lines cracked. Hundreds burst. Wrecks spinning. 300 left, Lix yelled. Scarred one's retreating. Jessa's hands steadied. Miners didn't break. Earth didn't yet. Zoran, push, she keyed. Clyra. Pushing, crawl flee. Dirt's shore, ours. The armada surged. Zoran sails blazed. Beams carved. Crawl thinned. 200, 100. Scarred frigate bolted, tail smoking. Soul's flare faded. A final shove. Earth loomed. Blue flickered. New Perth a faint glow. Crawl wrecks rained. Zoran circling. 50 pests left, scattering. New Perth, alive, Lix said, voice cracking. Domes holding. Barely. Alive's enough, Jessa said, unbuckling. Chaser coasted. 620 kilometers per second. Hull cracked, sail rags. Titanium heart, faint but fierce. Comms hummed. Vren. Crawl break. Dirt stands. Kinship holds. Fleet guards. Guards gold, Jessa keyed, hoarse. Earth's yours. Thanks, Star Brothers. Clyra. Dirt's grit. Ours now. Rebuild flows. The chaser drifted. Earth's orbit cleared. Zoran sails. Patrolled. Silver grace over blue scars. Jessa stood. Boots scuffed. Scars ached. New Perth's glow held a miner's dawn. Tor, chaser? Dead. Sails gone. Hull's ash, he said, grinning faint. Surfed her out. Lix, home? Home, he said, glasses off. Tears streaked. Zoran's staying. Crawl's done. Jessa leaned on the viewport. Sol rose, a slow burn. Earth's blue pulsed, cracked but breathing. Zoran fleet gleamed, a silver shield. Last wave, sunset's ours, she said, voice soft. New Calgary's fall faded. Crawl claws broke. Earth stood, her surf won. The chaser settled, wrecked, triumphant. A miner's rig turned savior, surfing to salvation. Epilogue. Dust and dawn. The flare chaser rested in Earth's low orbit, a scarred husk tethered to a Zorn repair spire. Titanium hull cracked wide, magsail coils limp like burnt thread. Soul's light bathed it, a slow gold burn over New Perth's patched dome. Blue flickered below, Earth's pulse faint but stubborn. Jessa Cade stood at the spire's viewport, hands in her pockets. Her miner's jacket was gone, swapped for a Zoran weave tunic, light as air, silver-streaked. New Calgary's dust was ash now, Earth scars her mirror. Tor leaned on a rail beside her, wrench swapped for a cane. Pulsar bruises purpled his knuckles, but his beard grinned wide. Ship's done. Zoran say she's a relic now. Museum bait. Relics earned, Jessa said, voice low. Her eyes traced the chaser's dents. Sol's flare. Proxima's tantrum. Pulsar's hell. Surfed 6 dots. Dragged Star Brothers home. She's gold. Gold's heavy, he chuckled, tapping the cane. Like us. Limping, but standing. Lix shuffled up. Glasses fixed. A Zoran tablet humming in his grip. No blanket now, just steady hands. Earth's alive. New Perth's got power. Grid's sparking. Crawls down to stragglers. Zorn's mopping 'em. Hours held, Jessa said, nodding. New Perth's glow replayed. A miner's dawn after crawl claws. Zorn staying? Long haul, he said, swiping. Hollow flared. Ring world specs, Zorn ships orbiting. Rebuild pact, triple suns guard us now. Kinships steel. She exhaled. Earth's ghosts quieted. New Calgary's fall a dull ache. The vault sat docked below, crystal dim, aid flows fulfilled. Zorn Council's word etched in orbit. 200 sails stayed, silver wings over blue scars. Crawl wrecks reigned, a fading threat. Star Brothers kept it, she said, half smile cracking. Debts paid. A hum. Vren glided in, quartz skin catching Sol. Robes shimmered, magsail thread glinting. Dirtborn, Jessa Cade, he said, voice cool but softer. Your flare's heart holds. Earth's dawn is ours. Council honors grit, kinship renews. Grit's mutual, she said, turning. Her scars met his glow, minor to Star-Lord. Crawled hit your rings. Earth took the punch. Thanks for swinging. Vren tilted his head. Eyes flickered, a faint nod. Pests broke, your dirt's shield stood. We rebuild. Sails guard, tech flows. A hollow bloomed. Zorn rigs over New Perth, domes rising. Earth's blue deepening. Your vessel, crude, fierce, rests as proof. Crude wins wars, Jessa said, glancing at the chaser, her rig, her ride. Titanium bones bent but unbroken. Tor shifted, Kane tapped. What's next? Zorn rigs. Dirt's got no ships left. Next is yours, Vren said. Hollow shifted. A new ship, sleek, small, magsail woven pure, titanium core, asteroid forged. For kin, surf as we do, dust births dawn. Jessa's brows lifted. Miner's hands itched. Ours? Yours, he said, stepping back, hollow faded. Ride, rebuild, Crawl's shadow lifts. He glided out, Zorn Grace leaving dust and steel behind. Jessa stared. New ship gleamed, a chaser reborn, silver sails, Earth's heart. Tor, thoughts? Shiny, needs grease, he grinned, cane steady. I'll break her in, legs'll hold. Licks, cords? Anywhere, he said, tablet humming, eyes bright, no cracks. Zorn's dots, Sol's rim, Earth's ours to surf. Jessa stepped closer. Viewport framed Earth, blue patched with green, New Perth's glow spreading. Zorn's sails circled, a silver tide lifting dust to dawn. Home's breathing, Crawl's ash. We surfed it. 6 dots, 1 wreck, Star Brothers back. 7 dots now, Tor said, nodding at the new ship. Dawn Rider, Zorn's script glowed. Ride's not done. Never done, she said, half smile held. Miners didn't quit. Earth didn't break. She turned. Boots scuffed Zorn deck, scars ached, Sol's sunset bled gold, a wave fading. Gear up. Dawn Rider's ours. Earth's dawn, our swell. Tor limped off. Kane clacked, grin wide. Licks followed, tablet buzzing. Jessa lingered, dust settling. Earth spun, cracked but alive, her surf, her win. The flare chaser rested, relic, legend, titanium heart stilled, a miner's tale etched in stars. The end. Created by Sam Jaggard and Grok. Thanks for listening.